Everybody, Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, I'm here today to talk about the playoff matchup between my guy, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen and the Bills. Now, Josh Allen has had a remarkable season. Josh Allen will finish top 3 in the MVP voting. Josh Allen is a player that has seen his career ascend to heights that a lot of people probably didn't think he could reach, at least not this fast, right? After the first 2 years of his career, and then this third year, he's just like, doubled his production and doubled everything, his completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, and then lowered his interceptions. Like, he's had an MVP like any other year. If Aaron Rodgers didn't exist, or the Chiefs weren't 15-1 or 14-2 or 14-1 when Patrick Mahomes played, Josh Allen would be the MVP of the league. I mean, his stats are really good. We're really good this year. 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 69% completion percentage. But see, here's the thing. Here is why I titled this video, Josh Allen is overrated. Josh Allen and the Bills are overrated. Because Josh Allen has ascended like crazy. And the big reason for that, let's just be real. He got Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs became the number 1 receiver, in yards and catches this year. Stephon Diggs completely changed the Bills' offense and completely changed Josh Allen's game. Like, he gave him a vertical threat. He gave him a short threat with yards after catch. He just gave him a reliable target, something that Lamar Jackson doesn't have. Something that Lamar Jackson and fans of Lamar Jackson has been begging for years. And the crazy thing, why it's so remarkable that the Ravens haven't been able to do this, yet Lamar has still been able to lead them to 11 wins, to a playoff win, to a win over the Titans, the same team that beat them in the playoffs last year when they were upset. Like, the reason why all of this is remarkable is because Lamar is still able to do more with less. Do more with a style of offense that isn't really built to come from behind, yet he came from behind in the playoff game against Tennessee. A style of offense that for a long time throughout the season didn't look like it was progressing, yet he still was able to do remarkable things and have a remarkable stat line. That's how great Lamar Jackson is. Now, don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson was drafted to a Baltimore team that was already built pretty good, but he has ascended that team and taken it to a new level as far as from where it was to where it is now. So here's the reason why I say Josh Allen is overrated. Because Josh Allen is so hit or miss. It's either you get a really good Josh Allen, it's just phenomenal, right? Like what we saw against Miami and what we've seen in other games. But then you will get a Josh Allen that plays like the Josh Allen we saw the first 2 years. And the thing about quarterbacks, we'll learn a lot more about Josh Allen next year. Now, if they go on to win a Super Bowl or something, I'll shut up. I'll have to eat crow and eat these words. But we'll learn a lot more about Josh Allen next year, because with quarterbacks, you have to, you got to find a median. Josh Allen had 2 bad years to start his career, and then he had a superstar year. And we've seen that with other quarterbacks. Or not necessarily bad years, but we've seen superstar pop years from other quarterbacks. Hell, we've even seen them go to the Super Bowl. We saw the superstar year with Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton, I think, the first 2 years was a lot better player than Josh Allen. He popped, went to the Super Bowl, they lost, and Cam kind of went back to just being good, but never was that guy again. We saw the superstar year with Matt Ryan. He popped, they went to the Super Bowl. Hell, they should have won. And then he went back to being Matt Ryan. And so I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to Josh Allen, but I'm saying that probably will happen to Josh. Now, I think he could the fact that he has Stephon Diggs, I think he's going to be able to play well for a long time. But Matt Ryan had Julio Jones, and he still just was always Matt Ryan. And so at the end of the day, I think Josh Allen, this is an outlier year. And if they lose Brian Daboll, their offensive coordinator, who I think he'll end up getting a head coaching job at one of these 7 openings. I think he's going to get one. Well, 6 now. Urban Meyer just took to Jacksonville. But he'll get one of these 6 openings. I kind of want to see how Josh Allen I think he's peaked, and I think he's going to plateau a little bit. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what I mean by even this year, when everything has went right, you had your superstar wide receiver that you brought in for a first-round pick that the Ravens should have got. But, hey, it is what it is. Here's what I mean by he hits peaks and valleys. He's not really consistent all the way through. Now, he's still a young quarterback, so there's still a lot to learn. But let's look at Josh Allen's game stats throughout the year. You get these games like against the Colts in the Dolphins early in the season with these first couple games where these quarterback ratings are insane. And then you run into a buzzsaw against the Steelers, right? 55% interception, only a 77 quarterback rating. Once again, you light up the 49ers, and then you have a stinker against the Chargers, a team that's just okay. You have a stinker against the Cardinals where you throw 2 interceptions. Now, it took a Hail Mary to beat you, but it still wasn't a great game. You have a stinker against the Patriots, under 200 yards, no touchdowns, 69. You have a stinker against the Chiefs, right? 122, 73 quarterback rating, only 50% of your passes completed. You have a stinker against the Titans, right? You do good against the Raiders and you light the Rams up and you light so you've lit all these teams up, but then you have, a real stinker and almost cost them the game. Not necessarily a stinker, but that last playoff game against the Colts where you're up big and then you almost lose the game to a Phillip Rivers, right? Now, you can change my whole perspective possibly by beating Baltimore and the Ravens. But the same attitude that is applied towards Josh Allen and seeing him as the savior of football, people aren't giving that same credit to Lamar. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson, they started off shaky. They were a shaky team in the beginning, but they still won 11 games. They won 11-5. And then he still won a playoff game, and he still rushed for over 1,000 yards on the ground. Rushed for over 1,000 yards, had 7 touchdowns on the ground, threw for over 27 yards, 26 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. Lamar Jackson had another really, really good year. He didn't have an MVP year like last season, but he had another really, really good year. And I think people are sleeping on how good he really is. I picked the Ravens before the season to win the Super Bowl. And I think Lamar Jackson can really make a statement by getting this win over Josh Allen and the Bills. And I think it's very possible. I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Bills. And I think Josh Allen, a lot of people got to slow the roll on how good they think he really is. Like, he's a good player, but let's calm down a little bit. Now, if he goes on to win the Super Bowl, I'll eat my words, like I said. But Josh Allen right now is a tad bit overrated. And that's just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe to the Black Boss Channel. Hit the notification bell because we upload pretty much every single day. And follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. I post content on there all the time. I will see you guys